I'm Dale. Welcome back to Like It Used To. I know a lot of you are feeling isolated right now. The whole world is isolated right now. But there's nothing quite as isolating as Norwegian black metal. And the most isolating Norwegian black metal is... well, it's not Immortal. But that's what we're doing today, so fucking yeah. But Dale, I hear you say, Immortal, they're doing great. That album right there, fucking sick. Yeah, but there's one guy that's not on it. And a guy that's been on every other one since the start. And that guy is Abbath. That's why this episode is Abbath like it used to. Ulv Eikmo, better known as Abbath Doom Occulta, is a Norwegian black metal musician and former frontman of one of my favourite bands, Immortal. He was on 1992's Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism and carried pretty much up till All Shall Fall, but then something that shouldn't have fell, and this is about that. Abbath's been having a rough time of late. In 2015, he left Immortal, saying that they didn't play live often enough. But Immortal fired back and said that it was because he had behavioural problems and drinking problems. He then made his own solo band, called Abbath, and then started touring immediately. I know, I got to play with him. But then Immortal stated that Abbath took material from Immortal for his first solo album. And then they fired back with this gem right here, which is one of my favourite of their albums. But I'll tell you what, fuck, I love Abbath. Look at how much fun he has. Alright, settle down, mate. So in this episode, we're going to figure out what a new Abbath Immortal album might sound like. We're going to use Abbath-style riffs, we're going to use Abbath-style solos, we're going to use Abbath-style vocals, and we're going to use Demonaz-style, all of those things too, because those guys are fucking inseparable. So let's take a look at what's needed.
I'm actually going to show you some of my shit.
Let's make some Immortal riffs. The first thing we have is a guitar in E standard. Like I needed to prove that to you. Most of Immortal stuff is in E standard. There is some stuff in their later catalogue that's in drop D, but we'll be going with E standard for this. The next thing you need is a riff that's like yakata takata. And what do I mean by that? I mean... now that's a 4/4 riff. Immortal also do a lot of stuff in 6/8, so that might sound something like... you know what? I like that a lot more. 6/8 it is. Because we're in E standard, we have to find some kind of E minor based pop chord progression to base this song around. I'm going to go E minor, and then C major, and then D major. I mean, that's pretty boring, but if you combine the last two lessons so that this one has yakata takata, it'll sound like... and now we're starting to get somewhere. The next thing is I'm going to let that E just ring throughout the whole playthrough. So it'll kind of be...
I know a very few like lead things, you know, and when I play that, everybody thinks that I'm wow.
So that chord progression's starting to sound pretty spicy. The next thing we're going to do is take the final D, and we're going to raise it sharp, one semitone every second time we play it. In music theory, they call that a bathification. The next thing we're going to do is mess around with the inversions of those chords. We're going to move them up the neck a bit, and we're going to change basically which notes are at the bottom and which notes are at the top. We want to move our hand as little as possible for this to give it kind of consistent tone between them. Again, we're going to keep this E ringing. Okay, that's starting to sound all right. One of the other things Abbath is known for is his arpeggios. That's where you take the notes of a chord and play them one at a time. So we're going to take the thing that we did previously and we're going to arpeggiate it, and it'll sound like... kind of like that. Right, so now we have two riffs. I'm gonna make the other ones. With that, we've done the Mountain Wolf's share of the instrumental parts, and it's time to do the vocals. So you might be asking yourself, how do you do Abbath vocals? Well, there's actually two techniques that you have to use in tandem. One of them is the Popeye, LIY, and the other one is the Darth Sidious, do it! You put those together and it'll sound like this. Now, with the vocals done, you know how to sound like that, so splish splash, go make some Abbath. And that wraps up another episode of Like It Used To. If you liked this Immortal themed Like It Used To, then you might like to check out my black metal band Virium. We just released an album in October, it's pretty good, the link is in the description below, so go check that out. And don't forget to check the video after this, in which this full song is played in front of a glorious Norwegian mountainscape, which is in no way green screened in after the fact. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments for this, or questions on the other videos, leave them in the comments on the other videos. I'll get around to them, but I'll also shoot a Q&A video in which I show the answer to a few questions in depth sometime early in the new year. And I'll have more music soon. So stay tuned and all of that stuff. And as I always say, see you in the video that comes after this one, that's after the one after this, because that's the one that will be another one of these ones where I talk. But the one after this, that's the Abbath one. Go check that out soon. All soon. See ya.